Welcome to Revelation Unraveled. I'm your host, William Tapley, also known as the third eagle of the apocalypse and the co-prophet of the end times. This is my last program in a series responding to Jonathan Kleck's series on Mystery Babylon. In previous programs, I have disagreed with him as far as the identity of the Queen of Heaven in Revelation 12:1, who I believe is the Blessed Virgin Mary, and I have disagreed with him as far as Egypt being part of Mystery Babylon, whereas in fact Egypt is part of the Scarlet Beast. I also showed where the Scarlet Beast is found in the prophet Daniel, as well as in the book of Revelation. Now in this program, I want to show you where the whore of Babylon, that is our own decadent Western civilization, is found prophesied in Daniel. So let's take a look at the Scarlet Beast and the whore of Babylon in Revelation, the goat and the ram in Daniel chapter number 8, and the statue and the tree in Daniel 2 and Daniel 4. Now, as I have been saying all along, the whore of Babylon, riding the Scarlet Beast, indicates decadent Western capitalism controlling international communism. Neither of these socio-political economic systems is worthy. Both must be destroyed before Jesus will set up his millennial kingdom. Now the whore of Babylon, that is the decadent West, will be destroyed in the first half of the 7 years of tribulation by international communism. And the result will be a one-world communist tyranny. This one-world communist tyranny, in turn, will be destroyed by Jesus at the Battle of Armageddon at the end of the 7 years of tribulation. So now I want to compare these two entities, these end times systems, as regards to which one is destroyed in Armageddon, which is destroyed in World War III, which one is a symbol of many empires, and which one represents one empire, and which is masculine, and which is feminine. And so let's take a look at the characteristics of these last two evil end times systems. First of all, the Scarlet Beast, which is international communism, will that be destroyed at Armageddon? And the answer is yes. Don't forget those 10 horns on the beast. They symbolize all 10 kings of the Antichrist, all the rulers of the world who will support the one world system. Now the whore of Babylon is not destroyed at Armageddon. It is destroyed previously in World War III because it is burned with fire by the Scarlet Beast. If we look at the number of empires in each of these evil end times systems, we will see that they are described in Daniel very much the same way as they are in the book of Revelation. First of all, the Scarlet Beast consists of many empires. That's what the 7 heads stand for, beginning with Egypt. Whereas the whore of Babylon is not a succession of empires, but rather one evil end times empire, and that is the British American Empire. It will be destroyed by international communism in World War III. Now let's look at their masculine and feminine traits. The Scarlet Beast is masculine. It's always described as a he, whereas the whore of Babylon, of course, is described as a female. And now let's look at where these two evil entities are found in Daniel chapter number 8. And in Daniel chapter 8, we see the struggle between capitalism and communism, symbolized as a struggle between a he-goat, notice that he, masculine, that's the same as the Scarlet Beast, and a ram. And the two horns on the ram symbolize Britain and America. These are both destroyed in World War III. Whereas out of the he-goat comes a little horn, which is the Antichrist, and he is destroyed at the Battle of Armageddon, remember, without hand, as Daniel says. As far as the number of empires expressed by the he-goat, I put a question mark here because it does not go back to Greece or Rome or Egypt. On the other hand, there is a succession because we know that after the goat is victorious, it expands, it develops into 4 kingdoms, north, south, east, and west. Out of these 4 kingdoms comes the one king, or the little horn, the Antichrist. So there is a succession. It's not like the ram, which is just one kingdom and is destroyed by the goat. Now, as far as masculine and feminine goes, yes, we know that the he-goat, as I said before, is masculine. It is not feminine. The ram is not masculine, but we don't know for sure if it is feminine. Daniel is not specific in this regard, so I left a question mark here. From what we know otherwise about the ram and the goat, I suspect the ram would be feminine. Now we find these exact same 2 evil end times entities, that is capitalism and communism, in Daniel chapter number 2 and Daniel chapter number 4, where King Nebuchadnezzar has a dream of a great statue and a great tree. The great statue represents the scarlet beast of communism. The great tree represents bountiful capitalism. Both are destroyed. Now, this statue is destroyed at Armageddon. And we know that because it is broken by a stone cut without hands. The tree, on the other hand, is cut down, which symbolizes World War III. Now, the Bible does not specifically say that it is World War III that cuts the tree down. But we know that it is a judgment of God. Remember, the Watcher and the Holy One, who are Enoch and Elijah, by the way, they pronounce judgment on the tree, but they do not do the actual cutting of the tree. The actual breaking of the statue is done by Jesus, the stone without hand. But the tree is cut down not by God. The decree comes from God. Now, as far as the number of empires symbolized by the statue and the tree, of course we know that the statue consists of a series of empires, beginning with the gold head, the silver chest, the thighs of brass, and the legs of iron, symbolizing Babylon, Persia, Greece, and Rome, the same as the scarlet beast in the book of Revelation, which had 7 heads and 10 horns. The tree, on the other hand, symbolizes just one tree. There is no succession of empires. As far as masculine and feminine goes, the statue is masculine. It's a statue of a king. It is not feminine. Now, the tree is not masculine. It would be neutral. That's why I put this question mark here. And as with the ram, the rest of the symbolism lines up, so the tree could be described as feminine, just as the ram could be described as feminine. And so, in conclusion, Mr. Kleck, I hope you realize that you were correct about the Whore of Babylon being Britain and America primarily. But you don't see that the Scarlet Beast represents communism, and that the Scarlet Beast will defeat the Whore of Babylon in World War III. At least that's what I call it. Now, some people don't like my term, World War III, but it is going to get worse, and soon everyone will see the results. This battle between the goat and the ram in Daniel is the same as between the Scarlet Beast and the Whore of Babylon in the book of Revelation. Jesus also refers to this end-time struggle when he talks about wars and rumors of war, nation against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. This is the first half of the tribulation. Please do not listen to the false prophets who say we are coming up against Ezekiel 38 and 39. They are lulling you to sleep. They wish it was Ezekiel 38 and 39. Because in Ezekiel, God intervenes and saves Israel. That is not going to happen in World War III. What we are facing in the Middle East, as I have explained many times before, is not the battle in Ezekiel. It is the battle in the first half of the tribulation. The battle between the goat and the ram, and between the beast and Babylon. And now, as always, if you would like a free copy of my book, Revelation Unraveled, you don't have to be a subscriber. You can write to the address you see on your screen, or leave a comment at the end of this video, and I will contact you. I will send you a message to your channel. Don't try and put your address in a comment. I don't think that is a good idea. And YouTube has still not fixed my channel so that you could use the arrow. So as I say, leave a comment or write to the address you see.